Trading isn't for everybody, but if you want it, you can have it. Do you really want this? Or do you want the glitz and the glam? Do you want the lifestyle? I wanted to leave my job before I ever wanted the Lambo. The Lambo was just for fun. My greatest accomplishment was being able to walk away from my job. Again, with the off the chart stuff, it's off the chart things that really bring you the success on the charts. If you don't have other things to occupy your time, you get lazy real quick. People look at, oh, well, I want to be a full-time trader. There's no such thing. There's no such thing because you're not sitting in front of your computer 8 hours a day to make it a full-time job. You're not doing it. There's no such thing as a full-time. You're making a full-time income, but it's not a full-time job. Lord God, just forgive me for saying this. There's times where I wish I was more busier because there's days where I don't have nothing to do. Today, I woke up at 7:30. I was done trading by 8:15. What is that, 20, 30 minutes? The day hasn't even begun yet for most people. Trading will always be a struggle, I believe. I don't think it's ever gonna be an easy thing to do. Nothing good comes easy. If it comes easy, it ain't good. As social media continues to grow, our niche is gonna continue to grow. More and more people are gonna continue to see there's a different way. I don't have to hit the lotto. I don't have to have a rich uncle. I don't have to get lucky and start a company that happens to blow up. I can be a social media influencer, or I could be a day trader, or I could be a mentor. The internet opens up, or social media opens up so many doors, so many avenues.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Calvin, the New Trader. Today we have yet another special guest. Today's episode is brought to you by Online Trading Campus. If you are interested to see how my friend Bern Skoyapinski made over $170,000 trading Forex, trading futures, trading in the stock market, utilizing prop firms, check out Online Trading Campus. There's a link in the description below. Also, today's episode is sponsored by Blue Guardian, the prop firm. Blue Guardian is a prop firm that allows Forex traders to get more capital by making a small investment. I'm talking unlimited trading days, 85% payouts when you make it to the funded stage. If you're interested in getting funded, if you have a little bit of capital, need bigger capital, check out BlueGuardian.com. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a repeat offender on the Forex Beginner podcast. She is always bringing the energy, always bringing nuggets, and she is here to chop it up with me today. Sharline FX, Lambo Sharline is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, Sharline?
What's going on? That might stick.
Lambo
I don't know.
Sharline. Shout out to Raul.
Yes.
So what's up? What's popping? What's new?
I can see now.
What do you have done to your eyes?
I had laser eye surgery last week, and I have better than 20/20 vision now. So everything is gonna be much brighter, figuratively and literally now.
Let's get it. Trading wise.
Yes.
And I'm just gonna jump right in there.
Let's do it.
Trading wise, what has been the difference for you since the chaos that has taken place in Forex in terms of MT4, MT5? Now that the dust has kind of settled with that, with brokers and all that stuff, how relieving is that now? And where are you personally with your trading?
So I like to look at the glass half full, always. Everything from a positive mindset. Even though it was a lot of turmoil going on there, I always knew something good was gonna come out of it. Something good. I didn't know what, but I knew something good was. So I just looked at it like, all right, if this goes down, that goes down. At the end of the day, I still have my skill. I can still trade. I just need a platform to trade on. And that's where futures kind of came in. And that everybody was jumping on that bandwagon. And my broker was having issues also. And I'm like, oh my God, where am I going to go? What am I going to do now? Because these brokers ain't working. They're trying to get their stuff together. It's not working. I'm going to have to jump on the futures train because that's the only platform that we could use. But at the end of the day, the light at the end of the tunnel was that we could still trade. Yeah. We could still trade. So I wasn't worried. Now things have calmed down. We're good to go now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we've had Sharline on the show, guys. You know, if you're tuning in, we've had Sharline on the show. Like, this is now the 4th interview that we've done with Sharline. It's always a great conversation. So I'm going to actually link the past 3 interviews just in case you want to dig into a story. And on this conversation we're having right now, we're going to kind of jump around a little bit between different topics. So if you want her full story, check out one of the 3 interviews in the description. You'll love it. Trust me. So for those that don't know, you come from being a police officer in Miami, and you hated it, basically.
Yeah. Well, I hate to use that word, hate. I don't like to use that word because it prepared me for trading, if you will, right? The discipline that's required, the studying to even be a police officer, a lot of the aspects that I needed for that job, I was able to translate into trading. So I would stop telling myself, okay, it was such a bad job, it was such a bad experience. It wasn't the job, it was the people that I was working with that made it difficult. But yeah, coming from that, you get a lot of growth. Over time, it's just growth. You always want to be growing, evolving, becoming a better individual, and using the things you came from to make you better. They don't define you, but they still make you better. So you, again, looking at the glass half full. I could look at it like, oh, it was a terrible job, but if I didn't have that job, I may not be where I am today.
Throughout your journey, I've seen you go through different courses, you know, because your journey is well documented.
Oh, yeah.
Through YouTube, through Instagram, like you can kind of see it all there. And I've seen you credit many different mentors for just playing a part in your journey. And the thing that I love about that is because your journey isn't, okay, you got this one strategy and now it all was figured out. Your journey has been a buildup of mostly experience and just different amounts of perspectives that you've adapted around the market. Can you talk about the process of just not knowing when having the ultimate skill set of profitability is going to come, but just continuing to not only pour into your experience, but pour into your education as well?
I think it's about finding a balance, because when you try to kind of tilt it and tilt the meter in one direction, you kind of leave out important things that you may not think are important, but really are. In trading, the devil's in the details. For me, it was seeing things on the charts that I hadn't even noticed before that were always there. So it's more about chart time more than anything. It really don't matter who your mentor is, what style of trader you are, how much money you have, whether you're trading live or prop. All those things are kind of on the shelf, surface things. You got to look more deeper underneath everything. And all of that comes from your psychology, your mental health, and really, not truly and honestly, it's everything off the charts that have, I believe, more of an impact than the things on the charts sometimes. Because if your psychology is not there, let's say, for instance, you have, a bad relationship, that's going to affect you on the charts. You could be the best trader ever, have the best whatever, but if your psychology is not there, then you might as well not trade. You get me? So I feel like it's more off the chart things that people kind of, what's the word I'm looking for, abandon, because they feel like these things aren't as important as having a big account, getting funded by this, having a $100,000 account, or having a course, or finding the right mentor. They kind of forget that, okay, hold on. You can have 10 courses, all the best mentors, but are you studying? Are you putting in the chart time? Are you taking care of your mental health? Are you learning all the aspects that you need to learn discipline-wise to help you when you get that knowledge? These are the things I feel like are more important than anything. And a lot of traders, the more they see like, okay, I could put in the chart time, I can study, I can backtest, but is my head right? Once they realize that, okay, a whole new world opens up now. So that's why I feel it's more at for me.
As you were going through that journey of course, figuring out you, dealing with your mindset, your process, as well as finding the balance between the educational part of trading as well.
Yes.
In your mind, are you talking to yourself and coaching yourself through that? Or were you one of those people that were just like you had great moments on the journey, but then you had some frustrating moments where you questioned yourself and your ability to actually do it?
It's both. It was both. I think any trader that said they never thought about quitting is lying. It's no way, because it's so hard. It's everybody can't be a trader because of the mental fortitude it takes to keep going after losing so much and blowing accounts and explaining to your friends and family what you're doing and having them talk in your ear, coupled with you have a job, you may have kids, you have responsibilities, and all of that's a lot. That's a lot to take on. So yeah, you think about it like I'm investing my time away from my kids, away from my spouse, away from my job, maybe other hobbies that I have, other business ventures that could be bringing me in money that I'm not working on because I'm focused on trading over here and I'm losing money doing it. So I think it's more about perspective, because for me, I do a lot of self-talk, a whole lot of self-talk. I talk to myself all the time to the point where my boyfriend thinks I'm crazy because I'm talking to myself. Who are you talking to? Me. You know? But it's just a thing that I do for me. And the reason why is because sometimes self-reflection is a huge thing. Sometimes we don't see the error of our ways, so you kind of need somebody else to tell you about yourself. But there are times where you need to tell you about yourself. If you blew the account, you can't say, oh, well, trading sucks. That's why I blew the account. No, you blew it because you did something wrong. So taking accountability also with that. So it's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword because it's not meant for everybody, but everybody can do it if they really want it. I say that all the time. Trading isn't for everybody, but if you want it, you can have it. So like I said, self-talk was huge for me. Taking accountability for things was big. Being honest with yourself. That's another issue as well. Do you really want this? Or do you want the glitz and the glam? Do you want the lifestyle? You know, I wanted to leave my job before I ever wanted the Lambo. The Lambo was just for fun. That wasn't gonna make me happy at the end of the day. It was a great accomplishment, but my greatest accomplishment was being able to walk away from my job. Was being able to show my family, hey, this is what I'm doing. Now y'all gotta show me respect. Y'all can't look at me funny no more because like, oh no, she really did that. You know? Yeah. It's the intangible things that really matter the most. Again, with the off the chart stuff, it's off the chart things that really bring you the success on the charts.
There you go.
So if you're able to put those together, I mean, you're unstoppable no matter what you're doing.
Now, you recently did a one-on-one, which you recorded on your channel.
Yes.
For those that are not following her, plug your YouTube channel so they can.
Sharline FX.
Okay, so Sharline FX, check her out, subscribe. But she did a video where you recorded parts of a one-on-one session you did with one of your students. And you were just talking about how, you know, when you're trying to get to a point where trading can actually work for you, where you can be profitable, you should not be trying to just trade.
Correct.
And
absolutely,
you need to continue to do the things you're doing. So if you have a business,
yes,
do your business well.
Yes.
Start another business. Create other streams of income that can support you so that you're not so pressured to make money in the market.
Yes. Yes.
Talk to me about once you get to a point where you do have enough money in your account and your lifestyle is pretty much good. Is there ever a point that you feel that you would ever just say, I'm just going to trade and I don't want to deal with other stuff anymore?
Nah, I don't think I'll get to that point where I say I'm just going to trade because first of all, trading is not my only passion. You got to have other passions in life. You can't just be stuck on one thing forever. I mean, at the end of the day, trading is boring.
It is.
It's boring. It's who wants to get up every single day and sit in front of a computer? I might as well go get a job if that's the case. Yeah. You get me? So, no, you got to have other things that bring you joy in your life because at the end of the day, it's a computer. Yeah, you're making money, but when you get to a certain level, it becomes kind of routine almost. Like I was having a conversation with a cousin of mine the other day, and I was telling her, because she was telling me Q had a big day the other day, not last week. I forget when it was, but it was like a 200 or 300.
Okay. Okay.
It might have been more. I think it was more. Day trade, and she was saying like, "Oh my God, Sharline, like, can you imagine?" Da, 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 da. And I'm talking to her, and I'm like, you know, that's a normal thing for him, right? He doesn't look at that like, oh my God, you gotta take a deep breath. It's become normal for him. So a big day for him looks like that to you because you're not used to that. But when you get to his level, and I said when, not if, when you get to his level, you're gonna feel that too. So you gotta look at it like, I said to her, you work from home. You don't have to get up and wear a uniform. You don't gotta sit in traffic. You don't have a boss over you breathing down your neck in the office. You get to work from home. Somebody who has to do that, who has to get up every day, sit in traffic, sit in the office, all that, they might look at you like, oh my God, you get to work from home? You don't have to, and it blows their mind. But to you, it's nothing because it's like, I do this every day. So you got to look at it like that too. So when you get to that point in life, it becomes such a routine thing. You need something else to bring that joy back, to bring that fire, that excitement that you had when you weren't at that level. Because you kind of start to, I hate to say this, but take it for granted. Facts. You become complacent. You're like, 10K day, 15K day. It's nothing. Even me, I'll have 5K days, 10K days. 20K days sometimes, and it doesn't hit the same way that it hit when I wasn't doing those numbers. But I still look at it like it's a blessing. Still like, man, I could really do this, and now I have the freedom to go do something else. But what about those days when I have a 10K loss? I got to make up for that. I don't want to lose sleep over that loss. So I have to have my other businesses making sure they keep me afloat, because those days don't come every day. And that's what I was telling my cousin. Those days that Q's having, they're not every day. I bet you he don't even trade every day.
Yeah.
But you don't want to lose sight of, okay, this is one thing, but I still got all these other things over here working for me. The goal is freedom. The goal is freedom. Trading, you're still working for your money. So it's not entirely freedom. Because if I don't get up and trade, did I make money that day?
No.
Nah. So I'm still working for my money in a sense. So that passive money from real estate investments, from stocks, from all this other stuff, that's where the freedom is at. So do I want to put that on the shelf and forget it and only focus where I have to work? That's hustling backwards now.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Really.
Make it make sense.
Yeah, it is. And I want to go back to the first thing you said, like, trading is boring.
Yes.
When you're no longer gambling,
Yeah.
when you're no longer just chasing candlestick movement,
Yes.
and you're following your trading plan, and you know what you're looking for.
Here we go again.
Yeah, it's really boring because you're waiting for the same setups, or you're waiting for the market to hit certain, criteria that you're looking for. So it really is. It's a boring game. You're just waiting.
Exactly.
You're
Whole
waiting.
lot of waiting.
It's a lot of waiting. So I personally am experiencing that.
Hello traders, I'm Bernd Skopinski from Online Trading Campus, one of the few trading educators who verify trading results with prop firm payments and my FX book. Whether you are a beginner or looking to advance, our unique set and forget method using proprietary indicators means less screen time and more freedom. I'm the all-time record holder at FTMO, and I generated over $1 million with prop firms. Feel free to book a call with Online Trading Campus to discuss how we can help you improve your trading skills and learn more about our system. Now, back to Calvin.
What's up, traders? It's your boy Calvin, the new trader. Sorry for interrupting today's podcast episode, but did you know that one of the reasons that traders like you and I fail our prop firm challenges is simply because we violate our daily drawdown? And more specifically than that, a lot of times we violate our daily drawdown not even knowing that we're breaching the account. We just get these emails and we get notified and we're like, oh man, how did I do that? I didn't know that I was near my daily drawdown. But there is a solution to this problem. And when you're looking to get funded, you want to rock with a prop firm that is making the journey easier for you. And one prop firm that is doing that is Blue Guardian. Now, Blue Guardian has this tool called the Guardian Protector. And what the Guardian Protector does is it allows you to place a limit right before your daily drawdown, so that regardless of if you know where you are or if you don't know where you are or if you forget to set a stop loss, that Guardian Protector will take you out of a trade before you violate your daily drawdown on your account, which ultimately allows you to live to trade another day and have another shot at actually becoming a funded trader. Also, Blue Guardian has no restrictions on their trading. You don't have to set a stop loss. You can hold over the weekend. You can trade whenever you want. You can use EAs. All of that stuff is permissible when trading with Blue Guardian. These things, the Guardian Protector, no restrictions, are things that make traders like me feel confident in working with the prop firm. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're interested in getting started with my recommended prop firm, Blue Guardian, click the link in the description and use coupon code NEWTRADER1 to get 10% off your next challenge today. Again, that's coupon code NEWTRADER, the number 1, to get 10% off your next prop firm challenge with Blue Guardian today. And then, man, you hit a lot of good points right there because, I have thought about it that way, but as of recently, I did not think about it that way. But you're right. Trading, if you're not using bots, it's working income.
Yeah.
It's working income.
Earned income still.
It's earned income.
Yeah.
If you don't show up, you don't get paid.
You don't get paid.
Some days, like you said, you can get it in 10 minutes. You can show up to the market.
Boom.
Boom. It's there. And it ain't looking back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You caught a trending day that day. You know what I mean? Boom.
Yes.
Other days, you're just waiting.
You're just waiting. Or you lose.
Or you lose.
Yeah.
Or the most frustrating days is when the market act like it's finna make the move, but go back into consolidation and you done tried 2-3 times and it done took your money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Gonna tease me like that?
Exactly. So that's a great point you brought up because you also have to protect the trader as well. Yes. If you just jump out there and you're only hyped and giddy and you're basing your financial future off your winning days, but you're not thinking about the days that you're not going to win.
That losing streak.
There you go. Yeah. What's going to supplement that?
Correct.
So that's a fair statement.
Yeah.
That's a fair statement.
And I was also going to say, in terms of the passion thing, trading, people say, okay, and this is something I talked about in that one-on-one. People look at, oh, well, I want to be a full-time trader. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. Because it don't matter if you're a scalper or a swing trader. You're not sitting in front of your computer 8 hours a day to make it a full-time job. You're not doing it. There's no such thing as a full-time. You're making a full-time income, but it's not a full-time job. Yeah. So if you don't have other things to occupy your time, you get lazy real quick. Because if it's one thing, and Lord God, just forgive me for saying this, there's times where I wish I was more busier than I am. Because there's days where I don't have nothing to do. I could be done today. I woke up at 7:30. I was done trading by 8:15. 7:30 to 8:15. What is that? 20, 30 minutes?
What else I'm going to do?
And I was like, the day hasn't even begun yet for most people. And I'm thinking, oh, let me look at my phone. What do I have to do today? I really didn't have much scheduled. And your brain starts wandering. And it's like, well, so if you don't have other things going on, what are you doing with yourself? How are you levitating? How are you elevating? How are you growing? How are you evolving? Have you read any new books? Have you been anywhere? I just came from Europe. I took a 2-week trip to Europe. Nice. Greatest trip ever. I had a great time. But now I'm back home to the real world. Now I got to get back to it. I got to find that joy again. Every day on the trip, I was doing something because we had a plan. Now I'm back home. Yeah, I got to get back to work. But once work is done, now what? So if you only trade, it's gonna be boring for you. After a while, the money don't mean nothing no more. You're just like, okay, what makes me happy? Am I married? Do I have kids? Do I have a kids recital to go to? Do I have any diapers to change? Or does the husband or the wife need me to cook dinner tonight or whatever? Like, what else is important to you now besides that?
This is a grown-up conversation right now.
Oh, yeah.
I've never thought about that, but that is so true. That is so true. When you get to a certain point and you're making more money than what you need to survive, and you're able to do that fairly quickly, it's like, what else do I do? Yeah. And that is what they always say, an idle mind is the devil's playground. Amen. Amen. And I never thought about that with trading, because you're so right. Yeah. That's so true. It makes you, like when I say it makes you lazy, like I'm laying in bed this morning, because sometimes I don't do the lives anymore. So I'll trade right from my bed. Open my laptop, and I'll just trade right from my laptop. And I'll sit there and I'll turn on my TV and watch the news, election time, this and that going on. And then I'll look at the clock and it'll be like 6 p.m. And I'll say, I spent the whole day in bed watching TV. Then I start feeling like I just wasted my whole day. I could have got this done. I got stuff to drop off at dry cleaner. I haven't cooked in a week. I've been ordering out every day. Uber Eats. My Uber Eats bill is like $1,000 because I just order out every night. And you start looking and you start thinking, is this how I want my life to go? And we're already in what, August? It's crazy. This year just flew by. And I'm just like, and when you look at December, you're going to look back and be like, so what did I do this year? What did I do this year? What do I have to show for this year? I don't have anybody to answer to, but at the same time, I have myself too. So that's huge. That's huge. And that's something we overlook. Yeah. So Sharline, are you saying that, because we know in the trading space, and I'm a big fan of this, right? Highlighting people's success. Like, you did it, you came up. But are you also saying that, be careful, because when you come up, there's a trap there too. Let me tell you. And there's struggle in there as well. Okay, so my next door neighbor, when I pulled up with the Lambo one day, I was coming out of the garage and I was leaving, and I would look, because I'm anal. So when I leave my house and I close the garage, I always stop and wait till I see the garage close all the way. I've seen some people just pull off while the door is closing, and I'm like, what if it malfunctions or something and the garage
is cracked or it stays open. People have access to my house now. I'm not even home. So I always wait. And one day I pulled out of my garage and I'm waiting. I'm looking at my rear view to make sure it closes all the way. And I noticed my next door neighbor he has a beautiful Audi, gorgeous Audi. And I noticed I could see him in the windshield and he's just like drooling over the car. And I knew it was the car because it was the first time I think he saw it. So anyway, I pull off and I leave. So I come back the next day and I'm standing in the driveway and I was talking to my boyfriend and we're talking in the driveway. And he pulls up in the Audi and he knew my boyfriend. They knew each other from back in the day. So I'm like, how do you guys know each other? They start talking. And then he starts talking to me about trading. He says, hey, I know you from Q's page. And I said, no way. He's like, yes, I know. So it's like, oh, wow, okay. So somebody knows me from Q. So he starts talking to me. And he was more interested in the car than anything. It was more like, how does it feel? And I'm looking like, okay, well, you got a nice car too. It's not like you driving a beat up hoopty and you're so mesmerized by this car. And I'm thinking like, and after the conversation was over, I went back in the house and I'm just thinking like, if people only knew, the real happiness doesn't come from material things. It's temporary happiness. Because right now, I wanted that car. It was my dream car. It's a great car, but I'm a little bored of it now. I'm used to it now. It's like hopping in my BM now. It's so normalized to me. When people are looking at me at stoplights, I have to catch myself and say, oh, Sharline, they're not just staring at you because they think you're weird. They're staring at you because you're in this car. But because it's so normalized to me now, I don't even realize the impact that it has when I'm driving it. And that's what I want people to know. You can experience that and get to that level, but just know when you get there, it's not going to 100% fulfill you like you think. It's not. It's a piece of metal that sits on 4 wheels that's going to cost you a lot of money. And after a while, it's going to be normal. Once you start hitting those 10, 20K days, in the beginning, it's going to hit different. But once it becomes a regular thing, it's not going to hit the same no more. Yeah. So now you got to find something else that brings you that fulfillment. So it all kind of comes full circle in a sense. So if I could speak to anybody on that, and I'm not saying I'm not grateful, I'm not happy I got to where I got to. Don't get me wrong, I'm not taking none of it for granted. But I'm saying that if I crash that car tomorrow, God forbid, I'm not going to lose sleep tomorrow night about it. I'm not, because that car doesn't mean as much to me as it would if I lost the love of my life, lost a family member, lost one of my businesses, or God forbid, got diagnosed with some crazy disease tomorrow. Because if I did, is that car going to matter anymore? No. Now I got to think about how am I going to save my health so I can live another day. The Lambo is not going to do anything for me when it comes to that. So now I got to go to the gym, eat right, make sure my mental health is good. These are the things that over time you will learn that these are what's more important. But it comes with age.
It does, yeah.
It comes with age. When you're young, you're in your 20s, you don't really have many bills, you don't not much responsibility. It's easy for you to go look at a car that's $200,000 and say, oh, I want that car. But when you start getting houses and businesses and you start having kids and you start having responsibilities, a lot of those things start to get bumped down to the bottom of the list, little by little by little. And then you start to realize what's really important to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to me about, because somebody's watching right now and they're saying, Sharline, like, thank you. Like, I hear that, but I'm not there. I'm the person that you were when you were feeling unfulfilled at that job. And all I need is this trading just to work. Talk about, for a second, what was your mental just thought process like when you were working overtime, throwing your money into the markets, literally investing more money in the account than you had literally made off your regular salary, right? Just like, what was going through your mind? Like, were you even thinking? And the reason I wanted to go back to that from what you just said is because I think in that moment back then, you were realizing the same thing that you now realize, but it was just on a different level.
On a different level.
Yeah.
So I already had proof that it worked. See, when you start a business, right? Let's say you're selling ice cream. And you got your little ice cream stand, and you got all the flavors: peach, vanilla, chocolate, peaches and cream, all that. And 1,000 people walk by you and don't buy no ice cream. And you go through that for, let's say, a month. It's hard to come out there every day and sell ice cream because no one's buying your ice cream. It's hard to come every day. But if you come out and you sell 1 today, or 5 next day, or 10 one day, or 2 this day, you're like, well, I'm selling some of my ice cream, so someone likes my ice cream. So I have proof of concept because someone's buying from me. With trading, it's like that. It was easy for me to keep investing money and keep studying and keep going at it because I had made money in it. I had made my little $80, $100 a day, $150, and I withdrew and I saw the money get deposited into my account.
Come on.
So the proof was there for me. So I just said, okay, this does work. It does work. I just need the knowledge. So when you're someone who has never made money trading, and that's hard for me to believe because you literally have a 50-50 chance of winning every trade.
Now, whether you withdrew it or not
yes,
is your problem.
Right.
But everybody's made some
Everybody's
money.
made money.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So that's the difference. So because the proof has already been shown to you, you can't say it doesn't work. You can't say that. You made the money. So you can't say, well, it doesn't work. No. Did you win? Did you close in profit? Then it works. So that's the difficult part for some traders is they just see money being lost and lost and lost and lost and lost. They see more losses than they do wins. So it's hard for them to see the light at the end of the tunnel because the results are not adding up for them. And that's where I say the willpower, the determination comes in because now you got to take accountability. Why are you losing so much? It's not the market. It's something you're doing, some knowledge that you don't have yet. Maybe psychology is not right. It could be a number of things that's wrong. But at the end of the day, you can't blame it just on the market. So the proof was already there for me. So it was easy for me to see that. And we live in Florida, Miami, Florida. There's motivation everywhere. And I look at it like, okay, Sharline, if you don't do this, what else can you do? Because there were other businesses that I wanted to start, but I needed a lot more capital to start them. Now, could I have done more overtime, saved up and did it? Yeah, of course. But this one seemed a little bit more in my reach than the other businesses did that took more money, time, and things like that. So when you're surrounded by the things that you want every day, it's easy to keep striving for it. Because there were days that I'm at work and I'll just be driving down Biscayne and I'll see 4 luxury cars drive by in a whole day. And every time, and I never told anybody this, but sometimes I would ask them, hey, what do you do for a living? When I would get calls in luxury high-rise apartment condos, before we had the body cameras, I would ask, if you don't mind me asking, what do you do? I would always, so it's hard to be around that so much and not have it like infused in you to where it's like, man, can I have something like this? This is so nice. And then you look at them and it's normal to them. It's like, oh, this whole thing. And then, saying that we just talked about. So your surroundings are important as well. What you consume, what you watch, who your friends are, your circle.
That's big.
If you have friends that ain't doing nothing, you're gonna be the part of that ain't nothing crew. Yeah. Cause you ain't doing nothing with them. So I was just around so much. I was around so many things that they were catalysts to keeping me motivated. So anytime I wanted to give up, what was my alternative? Going back to work? I had to find something to keep me driven, to keep me going every day. And it wasn't getting a Lambo, it was leaving my job. What's the best route that I could take to make that happen? Okay, this might be it. And I didn't want that much money when I started. I was happy making $150, $200 a day. I wasn't trying to make 20K days out the gate when I came out. Because I knew if I could just match my paycheck, I'm like, okay, I could do this because I'm living off this right now based on what my job is paying me. So if I can match that with trading, then I can live off trading. Yeah. But then when I understood the ups and the downs, the roller coasters, then I was like, oh, I can't just have trading. I got to have something else as well. So surrounding yourself around the right people, keeping yourself motivated, consuming the right media, the right type of, even music that you listen to could motivate you. You know, when I'm feeling down, gospel music is my go-to. It immediately lifts my spirits. So know what works for you and know what doesn't. If you know Netflix is your Achilles heel, cancel your Netflix membership. Because if you cancel it, you can't watch it. So if you know you get lazy, your whole day goes by, you don't get nothing done, you don't study at all, you're not on the charts at all because you're watching Netflix, you know what you're doing wrong. So take accountability and handle it, period. Stay motivated, that's everything.
I see the contrast clearly, right? Before you get to a place where you're established in trading in terms of you have the skill set, you can make money, right? You're in a place where you're working a job that you don't hate, but it doesn't fulfill your inner greatness. In short, the fact that you notice that is the fact that you're realizing there's more than just this job. Because to some people, in the example you gave, that job as a police officer is it.
Yeah.
Oh man, you are a police officer? Yeah. Wow. You know what I mean? Yeah. There you go.
There you go.
So, and then now on this side, you got the Lamborghini, which was once something like, wow. Now you're seeing, you know what? This is just material.
Yeah.
There are other things that are more important. And that just speaks to like the growth in life, the evolution of Sharline, right? Now, with that said, I also think in terms of emptiness, because you kind of led me somewhere, and that's why like my faith is a big thing. You know what I mean? And because we can have a lot of ups and downs in this world and we can't control nothing, right? But there has to be a consistent. And everybody's faith is different, and I don't think that everybody needs to be on the same level, but I think we all need something outside of ourselves that we can attach ourselves to. What I see in your life is that you have that 10x mindset, right? Where you always want to see how much further you can take it. Yes. And I think that complacency that tends to happen is because we're not using that imagination, that creative mind that we're all gifted with. You know what I mean? What are some things right now that you're seeing for yourself maybe 5 years down the line, maybe 10 years down the line, maybe even 20 years down the line?
With trading or personal?
Just
overall?
Period. Yeah, like just the 10x where you currently are.
Well, that's the thing with that, because I don't think I've reached my limit, like the highest point that I could go yet. For sure I haven't. There's more I could do, but being content is also a thing for me too, because I don't need a 10-bedroom mansion. You know, I don't need 5 cars in front of my house. I don't need that. For me, it's more about family. It's more about making memories, traveling. It's more about doing what makes me truly happy. And yes, 10xing things is huge, right? But I'm not trying to be Oprah. You know, I don't need my own TV network. I don't need to be buddy-buddy with Jay-Z or nothing like that. I'm okay with where I am, because that's another thing. When you focus so much on those things, you got to realize you're sacrificing a lot too. And those things that you sacrifice, one day you might look back and say, man, what if I would have took time off to do this, to focus on family? What if I would have did that? You know, if you have kids and you're so focused on business all the time, your kid could be growing up doing things and you missing all of it. Because you're here, but you're not here. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna look back in 18 years when they're adults and say, man, was I a dad? Was I a real mom? Did I give my kids all of me and not just buy them things? Did I show them life ideas and principles and all those things to help them in life, so when I'm not there anymore, my kids can survive? Mm-hmm. So for me, yes, business is huge. It's important for me, but I've kind of set myself up in a way where I'm okay with where I am. There's more things I want to do, But there are other things that I have neglected. I had to sacrifice a lot on my trading journey to get to this point. So now I'm here. That greed factor can't set in and hold me back. It's like when you're trading, right? I was doing a one-on-one yesterday, and I said to the guy, I took a trade, what's today? Tuesday. I took a trade Friday, and I could have closed out on the trade at 4K. I held it until I think 10. And I was showing him on the charts why I held it and this and that. And I said to him, me holding until 10 was greed, because I could have closed at 4 and been totally content with it. I didn't need the 10K. It wasn't 6K difference. It's not gonna make or break my account or break me. So it wasn't a big deal for me. In life, it's the same thing. Do you really need that extra million? Do you really need that extra car? Do you really need that extra thing when you have so much in your rearview mirror that you've already built? And when you strive and strive and strive for so much, you're neglecting the things that you're sacrificing that you may not even realize that you're sacrificing. I don't want to look back on my life in 10 and 20 years and say, man, I wish I would have had a bigger family. I wish I would have spent time with this person. People pass away or people move away or things happen in life, and you're like, I wish I would have did these things. I don't want to look back on all my accomplishments and have to consider my regrets also.
That's powerful.
And that's where I say the balance. You have to find a healthy balance with that. Your whole life can't revolve around one thing. It's a big world out here. How can you just focus on one thing? Yeah. So again, and going back to where you meant on faith, putting your attention on something like a higher power or something like that can give you clarity. It can give you insight on things you may not be able to do by yourself. I'm big on reading the Bible. I'm big on self-help books. So when you fill your brain and you fill your mind with all these different things that can bring you things that you probably never even knew existed out there, it can open your eyes up to things that you never knew you even had to worry about, period. Okay. I was watching a documentary the other day, and this guy said he wanted to live as long as he could till like 100-some years old. And this other guy was with him and said, do you want to live that long? For what? And he said, well, it's life. I want to live as long as possible, and then I don't know what's on the other side, so I want to enjoy it while I'm here. And he said, well, when you die, who's going to be at your funeral? Because majority of your friends will all be dead. So who's going to be there when you live that long? Not saying it's nobody's going to be there, but he's trying to make a point to him. Like, you want to live this extremely long life when the people that you're living with may not make it with you. So the people that knew you the best and that loved you and would love to attend your funeral, if anything, they're going to be dead and gone, and you're going to be by yourself. So, you know what I'm saying? And that really resonated with me, because I'm like, he's right. He's right. So, I don't know. I don't want this to turn into some, boring life talk, whatever it is.
Man, we talking.
But it's just growth. It's growth.
Yeah. and like, I'm pretty sure that when you were the police officer, the people around you didn't want to hear you talking about foreign cars. Didn't want to hear
I didn't talk about it with them.
Because they didn't want to hear it. Because you knew that you were going to be talking to the wall.
Not only that, but you got to read the room. You got to read the room. You got to know who you're around and what you can and can't say. Don't be a dummy. Read the room. If you walk in a room and somebody gives you a stank look, you already know they don't like you. Don't walk up and give them a big hug when you can see they already gave you a side eye. You know what I mean? So if I'm standing around a bunch of people that I'm at the same level with them, and I'm talking about things that they probably can't even fathom, or they already looking at you like, we don't respect you like that. You can be talking all you want, but you're not going. You know better than us. You know what I mean? So we got to read the room. With some family members, I don't talk certain things with. Because they can't relate. Some people's mindset is so limited. They're like, they looking at you like you crazy. Like, what? If you tell your dreams to somebody who has no imagination, you might as well be talking to a wall. Basically. You might as well be talking to a wall, because they're going to look at you, okay, this person needs help. Like, I don't know what you're talking about right now. Who do you think you are that you could even think that you can accomplish something like that?
And if you're not careful, you will start to think something's wrong with you.
Oh, nah, I don't know about that.
That's that confidence. That's that confidence right there.
I'm sorry. I think I was born with this because nobody could make me think I was crazy or I couldn't. Nah.
I felt that way before in certain rooms. Yeah. And and that's why I have to guard myself a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I'm always, I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna chill with family.
A little more
because I have to protect. For so long, I had to fight for what I believe in because I've had people tell me, you're delusional. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, are you paying attention to what's around you? I know what your dreams are, but you got to deal with reality. You know what I mean? So many times I've had to fight. And so it's like at this stage, like I just stay to myself.
Unfortunately, and I hate to bring it to about race, but you got to look at it from that aspect as well. Because, this was another conversation I was having with a family member of mine where I said, in the black household growing up, we're not necessarily taught to invest in things and look at the tax code or read into real estate law or look into insurance and things like that. We're not really taught those things growing up. We're only taught to go to school, work, get a job, and that's it. Live until you die. That's it. And in most white households, they are teaching their kids those kind of things. So when they're talking to their friends about it, it's not so outlandish to them because they were raised with that type of conversations and lessons being taught to them. So if some white kid grows up and says, I want to own my own Fortune 500 company one day, their friends are not going to look at them crazy and be like, what are you talking about? Well, you can't do it. No, because that was instilled in them growing up. But in our community, it's not like that. We're taught, go get a job, work, and that's it. So when you say to them, I want to own a Fortune 500 company, they're really like, it's foreign to them. Yeah. And they can't even imagine what that's like because I didn't see mommy do it. I didn't see daddy do it. I don't have any rich uncles or anything like that. I didn't see it. And even if they did see it, okay, that was a one-off. You were an anomaly. That's not going to happen again. Or you were scamming, or you did this, or you did that, or whatever the case. So our heritage, our history plays a role in that, but it's up to us to break those chains, up to us to break those curses, to kind of bring it around and say, wait a minute now, no, you can have the same opportunities. You can be a black woman or black man and be a president or a vice president of the United States or wherever you want to do. So you have to see those things and open your eyes and say, can I do it too? Some people don't even question, can they do it? It's just not even a question to them. It's completely off the table. It's off the table. But for others, it's, hold up, how can I do it? Not can I do it, how can I do it? Because it's a done deal, I can do it.
And you feel like you've always been programmed that way?
I was. Ever since I was little. The first book that I read was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Wow. I was 9 years old. Wow. Yeah, my mom bought me a book called Who Moved My Cheese?
I heard about that.
Yes. So from that age, and my parents were entrepreneurs growing up. When I was 9 years old, we lived in a 7-bedroom mansion in East Hampton, New York. I lived up the block from LL Cool J and P. Diddy at the time. Wow. Yeah, and I had 2 living maids. I was the only black kid in my entire school, which was so weird. At the time, I didn't really think anything of it, but they did, obviously. But I was raised around success. So at a young age, I was able to see my mom and dad pull up in Mercedes-Benzes in front of our big old house in front. For my 9th birthday, my parents threw me a gigantic birthday party. And as a gift, they built me a custom basketball court because I loved Michael Jordan when I was little. I used to watch the games with my dad. And I liked to play basketball because of Michael Jordan. Mm-hmm. So they built me a bulletproof, custom-made basketball court in our backyard. Full court, not half, full court.
That's crazy.
Next to our tennis court, which was next to a pond.
That's crazy.
So when I was young, it was like, I can't say I was born with it, but I grew up seeing my parents be successful. So I saw if my mom and dad could do it, I could do it too. So I kind of had it from being little.
My question would be, do you think because nowadays trading is so accessible and it's so highly promoted, do you think now that day trading has become something that people that grow up in poverty, that come from poverty, like myself, like I've never, your upbringing and my upbringing, two different things, right? Do you think because day trading now appeals to people that come from the type of circumstance I come from, is that where we find that problem with mindset and all of that stuff, and why trading is such a struggle, maybe?
Well, trading will always be a struggle, I believe. I don't think it's ever going to be an easy thing to do. It just takes work, like anything else. Nothing good comes easy. If it comes easy, it ain't good, period. So it's always going to be hard. But I think with social media and how prevalent social media is, it's the best thing ever. Because as social media continues to grow, our niche is going to continue to grow. More and more people are going to continue to see there's a different way. I don't have to hit the lotto. I don't have to have a rich uncle. I don't have to get lucky and start a company that happens to blow up. I can be a social media influencer, or I could be a day trader, or I could be a mentor, a self-help coach. I could be this, I could be that. The internet opens up, or social media opens up so many doors, so many avenues to where, okay, the possibilities are now endless. Now, everything is more accessible now. If you, on your phone, you can open up your phone and start a YouTube channel just right off your phone. You don't need anything else to do that. And your channel blows up, boom, everything, it's all over after that. So I think social media has a lot to do with it. I feel like our niche is still very small. This is just a tip of the iceberg, I think, for us. It's only going to continue to grow. More minorities, I feel like, are going to get involved in it. I do think the powers that be are watching. I'm a conspiracy theorist. That's just me.
Yeah. We can't have all these, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're going to be like, hold up now. Wait a minute.
Get to the bread so easily, you know what I mean?
Yes. So I do think that's on the horizon where they can't take it away, but they're going to make it a little bit harder to get in, kind of, I feel like.
And we've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Yes, we've seen it. So that's why I feel, but it's no stopping it, though. There's no stopping it. Because even though they might not, want it to be as easy, when we make money, they make money. It's at the end of the day, it's about the almighty dollar, the bottom line.
Yeah. I guess where I want to take this is, what is Sharline doing to make sure that her wealth and her businesses will continue, and her ability to produce will continue to flow, regardless of if she's earned income or not earned income?
First thing is, the key to starting a viable business, to me, is finding a problem that a lot of people have and creating a solution for that problem and selling that solution. So if you have a problem, and it doesn't even have to be quote unquote problem, right? I have a friend of mine who just started a social media company where he's doing editing and stuff. It's not a lot of people doing social media content editing and things like that. It's more people trying to put out content. But there's not a lot of people that does good video editing. I'll say that. So it's like, man, not a lot of people. I don't really care to put out content, but I would love to help those that are making it to make their content look sparkly and beautiful and great. So he started a business doing that, and it's taken off completely. He saw a problem, found the solution, and now he's selling the solution. So for me is, my businesses, the ones that I have, they're all solving some kind of problem for some people. All I got to do is make sure that problem is still there, and I'm there to sell them that solution. So you have to look at it like, is this business going to sustain me, or is it a fly-by-night? Because if it's a fly-by-night, I'm not interested. I don't want nothing that's temporary. I need something that's sustainable and self-sustainable, so that if I break my leg and I'm in the hospital for 2 weeks, my business won't go down because I'm not there to be hands-on with it. Yeah. So if I own a corporate building, I don't have to actually be there to make sure the units are rented out, so that I keep the money flowing, I keep the bills paid, and the lights on. So the key is, I have businesses that I don't have to be as hands-on with. I have businesses that don't cost a lot to start, and that's the key for me. Because even though I'm risky with my trading, because I invested a lot with that, I don't like to be risky in other businesses because I'm not A1 when it comes to certain things. So I don't want to kick out 50, 80, 100 grand on this business on a whim and it doesn't work out. Yeah. I don't have that kind of money to just lose like that just because. Yeah, I have a lot of faith in myself, but I got to be smart with my money. That's how you stay rich. You manage your money properly. So, and that's the other thing. I manage my money better now. I used to go crazy shopping every week, every day. I'll look at my Amex bill and I'm like, did I really spend $30,000 this week? Yes. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. Sharline, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. You're not going to stay rich if you keep acting like this. You know what I'm saying? So you have to kind of put things in perspective too. Just know that as fast as the money comes in is as fast as it will go out. Mm-hmm. So you're not looking for a business that's going to bring you fast money all the time. Fast money is not always great. Sometimes you need that slow money to come in. But as long as it's coming in, that's all you care about. So sometimes I won't even look at my business bank account. And I'm thinking, and I'm like, let me go a good month without looking. Because that's where all my income comes in. It's my business account. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to wait a little bit and see. This is what the number was here. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to make no withdrawals. I'm just going to see how my other businesses are doing. Because right now, everything's combined under one umbrella. Let me see how it does by itself. And at the end of that month, it was up another 30, 40 grand. So I'm like, oh, okay. So this is what I need to do here. This is what I need to do here. But I know this is sustainable even if I'm not hands-on with it. So find a problem, create a solution, sell the solution. Don't look for fast money. Slow money is just as good. And manage, when it comes in, manage it properly. Don't think, oh, just because I made 10 grand today, I can blow it because I know I'm going to make it again next week. That's the worst thing you could do. Because now that pressure is on you now to make sure you make it again. Mm-hmm. I don't want to bring more stress into my life because I'm making more money. Yeah. I need that money to continue working for me so I don't have to keep working hard for it. That's the whole point. It's easy making money. It's hard to keep it.
I totally agree.
That's it right there. Mm-hmm. You give a millionaire, someone who hits the lottery, $50 million. Let me see where they are in 10 years. How much of that money do they still have, if they even have it anymore? They're not crack addicts on the street somewhere. So that's the other thing that people need to understand. People that are wealthy are not wealthy because they made a lot of money. Yes, they made a lot of money, but it wasn't how much they made. It's how much they were able to keep, how much they're managing that's keeping their head above water so that they don't find themselves looking at a bunch of debt, a bunch of bills, businesses going down. I'm only one person. I have one assistant that helps me out here and there. Other than that, I'm so anal about my businesses. I don't trust anybody with nothing. I do everything myself. I can only stress myself so far. So if this business is going to take away this much time and this much effort from me, the bottom line better make sense. Because if it don't, I'm good.
Yeah. So the key is businesses for you.
Yes, you got to have multiple streams. Yeah. You got to have multiple. I don't care what you're doing. If you don't have multiple streams coming in, you haven't made it. You haven't made it. You haven't made it until you have one business that pays for that business, that pays for this business, and you just sitting back. If you have to work at all those businesses, you're not there yet. Because if you don't work, you don't make no money. Yeah. I can't open up 7 pizza shops and think that, well, I got to be at all of them for me to make a profit that day. You might as well sit at home and open up one. Because now it comes more stress, more money, more problems. People forget that too. More money, more problems. I can't buy a Lambo and then turn around and go buy a Honda Civic because I want to save money. You don't be like, what? What you doing? There's pressure to keep image. There's pressure to make more money. There's pressure to show people that you're good at what you're doing, so you want to keep doing it. I mean, with some traders, the ones that take losses and they never show losses, to me, I'm wondering, is it a trader thing or is it an ego thing?
Because it's a part of the business. It's
part of it. So what's wrong with showing that? Yeah. We know you lose. Yep. Why not show it? Is it, you feel like, well, if I lost, are people going to look at me funny now and say I can't trade? Are you kidding me? When you live in a multi-million-dollar house and you have 6 cars in front of your house, one losing trade is going to make people look at you sideways? Absolutely not. But if you're content in who you are, that won't bother you. Yeah. It won't bother you at all.
I post a loss as quick as I post the win.
Exactly. And show people the reality of what it is. But when it comes to trading, I don't know not one successful trader that only trades. Not one. Every single one, they got something else on the side that's bringing them probably more money than they make trading. People don't even know that. I know one trader. I'm not going to say who it is. He or she owns over 200 Airbnb properties all over the U.S. 200. And he has someone he has someone managing them.
Just
for him.
say it's not Q Banks, because that's the first place they're gonna go. So just say it's not Q.
I can't say it's not the one I'm talking about is not Q, but I can't say he doesn't have Airbnbs. But
yeah, but just say you're not talking about Q. Yeah, because you were talking about him, and then the mind will go straight there. So just say this is not Q.
No,
that you talk about. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like you can have, and that's the thing. Trading is not everything. Use it as a vehicle. Use it as a means to an end to get you to a point where you only trade when you want to trade. You don't have to trade every day. Why? Because you got all these other businesses. You got those 200 Airbnbs that are getting rented out. This is the Airbnb.
This is definitely
somebody's making money right now off of this.
Off the Forex Broker podcast.
Yes.
They're making money off us right now.
Yes. So you got to look at it like that. And opportunities are everywhere, Calvin. When people say, I don't know how to make money, I don't know how to start a business, I don't know. You have eyes. If you have eyes, there's so many opportunities around you where you can make money. I was telling the guy I did the one-on-one with, I said, I had a friend of mine. He's not a trader, but he was struggling to start a business. And I told him the same thing. I said, bro, find a problem, find the solution, and then sell it. He opened up one driving school. And this was back in 2014. Just before I was even doing anything myself. I'm giving him advice. Wow. And today he has 6 driving schools. Pulled up to my house the other day in a Bentley.
Come on, man.
In a Bentley. He has 6 drivers. This is a guy who said to me, Sharline, I don't know what to do. He came into a little bit of money. I got into a car accident. He got a settlement. Didn't know what to do with the money. And I was proud of him because he didn't go out and just blow it. Mm-hmm. He wanted to do something with it. He took it, opened up a driving school. Now he has 6 driving schools. He ain't got to show up to none of them. At all. Hire somebody, play a couple tapes, do the move, and that's it. So people will always need to learn how to drive. Plenty of kids. The population is huge. There aren't enough driving schools around. Yep. He opened one. It did successful. Opened the second, did third, fourth, and now he's up to 6. So who knows if he's going to have more. But the point is, he saw the vision. And he had a friend in me who gave him the vision to say, bro, open your eyes and look around. Find a problem, find a solution, and sell it. So your circle is everything. That conversation I had with him might have been everything to him. Just gave him just the motivation he needed to go look for a problem. And now he's good. So he didn't take the money he made and just, let me go buy a Lambo with it. Nah. How do I take this money and make it make me more money so now I can take that money and go buy my Bentley? That's how you get rich, and that's how you stay rich. Because I guarantee you, them driving schools are paying for that Bentley. So.
And I just think the easiest thing that traders can do, honestly, once you figure out yourself in trading and you're getting some results, like just walk down your block.
Yeah.
And start looking at the people. Again, notice a problem. You see people show up every day, tired from work, exhausted, maybe got to come home and go do DoorDash, do some extra stuff to make ends meet, or maybe they got a child in college they're helping front the bill. You know what I mean? Offer to teach them. Start up a community. Like, it baffles me, right? How many people would rather you learn the skill set? Let's say you go get funded, you know what I mean? And you get a $5,000 payout. Like, nothing even major. Like, you know what I'm saying? You make a $5,000 payout. Why don't you go show the people that live around you how they can do the same thing and make their life a little bit easier and add some extra income to their job that they're doing every day? But I think the internet has spoiled us where everybody wants to create a brand, which is cool, but like the things I'm saying is coming off what you just said. Looking for your easier opportunity is somebody that knows, likes, and trusts you already. Why waste time, energy, pretending to be something you're not yet on the internet to try to get sales from people that don't know you, that's probably going to try you out for a month and then cancel their subscription.
Yeah.
When you can walk down your street, people that have known you for years.
Yeah.
that you can show them what you did, and there go your little academy right there. There go your first business. You don't even gotta go online.
But see, the problem with that is personality is there too. Do you have the personality for that? Can you even talk to your family member about it, rather than talk to your next door neighbor? Yeah. You know, and even though social media is big, trading is big, all that is big. That's fine and dandy. I'm a big proponent for blue collar jobs. I think a lot of money is in blue collar gigs that a lot of people don't know about. Mm-hmm. My mom lives in Brickell. She lives in a really prominent high rise in Brickell. Mm-hmm. There's a guy in her building, young guy, tall, jogs every morning. And I'm wondering, I see him. When I go see my mom, I would see him because he lives on her floor. Mm-hmm. So I run into him in the elevator sometimes. And one day I noticed, I'm like, can I ask you something? He's like, yeah, sure. I said, what do you do for a living? You know what he said to me? I'm a dog walker.
Come on. Come on.
I said, say what now? And you live in this building? He said, I make $20,000 a month walking the dogs of the people that live in this building. Come on. Because they go to work.
You got to get the right
And a lot of them
client.
have puppies.
There you go.
And they can't walk them because they're at work.
And the majority of them probably don't have kids.
Yes.
And that dog is like their child.
That dog is everything to them.
So I'll pay you whatever you want to take care of my baby.
I'll pay you $30, $40 a month to walk my dog every day. And he only walks them maybe an hour or two, brings them back, got access to the apartment when he needs it, all that. I'm like, I said, what? You make 20, and he's already an athlete. He works out. He does this, and I don't know if that's all he does. I'm sure he does other things.
Yeah.
But he wasn't even shy about saying that. He could have said some glamorous business or something like that. That sounded prettier or whatever, sexier. No, he said, yeah, I walk the dogs in this building. And mind you, my mom has her dog. Now, my mom is self-employed, so she can walk her own dog. Mm-hmm. But if she had to work, she loves her puppy. That guy was going to be working they live right next door to each other. And I said, how do you get your clients? Because there's a lot of bougie people in there. Mm-hmm. How do you? He said, oh, I just made some flyers. I went down to the mail room, and I put the flyers up on the mailboxes. And that's how I got my clients, and I've been doing it for 5 years now. Wow. I said, wow. And so again, don't think that owning a business means you need to have some big storefront or some big glamorous, brick and mortar or something like that. Mm-hmm. It could be something so simple that brings you the most money. Washing cars, cutting grass, babysitting, mounting TVs. Did you know how big of a business that is?
Yeah, the guy that did my house, we called him back like 2 or 3 times.
To mount your TV?
Yeah, yes. like we just started adding TVs in like little small, 40 inches in random
And it don't
places.
even take long to do it.
He was so professional that we was just like, hey, I think we started the point I'm trying to make is we were creating jobs for him to come back out because he was just so good.
Yes.
Yeah, he was
I
quick.
look at that epoxy work, epoxy in garages and all that. That stuff is that's all blue collar, but they're making crazy money doing that.
Or if you're the trader, if somebody comes to your house, does a job for you, and you was like, yo, they are so amazing, be you create the company and just say, hey, if I can guarantee you X amount of work per month, would you just work exclusively with me? There's your business, trader. And even if you got to front the money some months because it's a little slow, that's your business.
That's a business. And that's what? Opening your eyes. Just look around.
Come on.
So I don't want to hear no more.
This talk is getting good.
Yeah, there's no more talk of, I don't know what to do. I don't know. Trading is my only avenue. Absolutely not. Mm-hmm. Absolutely not.
And going back to the original point, now you're growing.
Yes.
Now you got something to do when you get out of the market.
Yes.
You're thinking about what can we do? What else can we do? What other things, what other people with gifts do I have around me that I can kind of manage and help them reach their income goals and me help build my business.
Build your business.
Yeah.
You help yourself indirectly when you help others.
Come. Okay.
So,
come on, my goodness. So
that's why it's
my devotional.
Yes.
Has been in the Bible. It's been in, so it's in Genesis and Abraham, and I'm just kind of studying Abraham. So Abraham was a man in the Bible that God had told to leave the land that he was in, him and his wife and his nephew, and to go to a place that he would give him, right? A lot of people that are in church and stuff, like they think that you got to be broke to serve God. But Abraham was a rich man. He was rich in gold, silver, and he had herdsmen, he had cattle, all of that stuff. He was the ultimate rich man. In today's society, he would be the equivalent of, not only does he own like Facebook or Apple, but he's also like a real estate tycoon at the same time. He like, wow, that's the equivalent of what he was, right? So anyway, what happened was, like, there was a moment where like God was kind of speaking to him and telling him, listen, I'm going to bless you to be a blessing. Everything that I'm going to do for you is so that I can bless the people that are hooked up to you, that you have yet to even meet. And that stuck with me so much, because I often say on the podcast that if I choose to stop and give up with anything, with the podcast, with trading, with any other businesses, if I stop and give up, I don't know who is attached to the success of that business or that trade or whatever, that I'm now shutting out their blessing. You know what I mean? It becomes your responsibility. Yeah. So when you said that, you know what I mean? Like, we're blessed to be a blessing. Like, it drives me insane. Like, yo, if I slack today, I don't know whose child's college is not going to get paid for because I decided to slack today. So when you challenge me about something, when you said, hey, like, we need to start doing some panel discussions, some round tables, I'm like, yeah, you're right. I need to do that because I don't know. I don't know.
It's not hard, because either you have it in you or you don't. It has to be genuine, You working as hard as you do, you don't know who you're inspiring. You don't know who didn't have the faith or the inspiration or just the will to even fathom wanting or becoming better than they already are, but they see you doing it. And they're like, well, if that person can do it, maybe, just maybe I could do it. Yeah. And that can mean the whole world to somebody. You never know. So we have a responsibility. When you make it to a certain level, you owe it to the people to continue working as hard as you do, because there are people that are counting on you. Some people that when I canceled my live streams were devastated, because they're like, Sharline, sometimes I don't watch your lives for even the trading. Just your talks help me get through my day, or help me with depression, or help me become inspired where I wasn't inspired before. So, like I said, say it again, when you reach a certain level of success, you have a responsibility to keep going and to make sure that everything you're doing indirectly is helping somebody. So you owe it to yourself to keep going, and you owe it to them. Because a lot of times people forget, ain't too many people that become successful by themselves. You may have worked your butt off to get to where you are, but some outside force played a part in you becoming successful. Yeah. If you open up a coffee shop and you're selling a bunch of coffee, the coffee sales didn't come from thin air. People had to come into your shop to buy the coffee. So those people played a part in your success. So you didn't make it by yourself. Yeah. You made it because you had customers. Yeah. So when you forget that, oh, I did this trading by myself, no, somebody made it possible for you to be able to trade, to be able to make it where you are. That's it. So don't forget, as quickly as you got it, it can be taken away quickly if you failed to understand, listen, we all need somebody. We all need somebody. Everybody made it some way, somehow, with something, some outside force. Yeah. So I'm big on that. I'm very big on helping people. You can't forget, I'm big on karma. You get everything you put out in this universe. So the more you help people, the more it's going to come back to you. I don't worry about things anymore in life. When things don't go my way, I'm chill. Because I know it's for a reason. Something good is going to come out of it. I don't care what it is. I could blow an account tomorrow. Something good is going to come from this blown account. Yeah. or the experience of it. So it's also about being positive. Always about being positive. And part of being positive is helping people, because it's a good feeling. It really is. It's a blessing all around.
That's so dope. Let the people know where they can follow you. I mean, we already plugged the YouTube channel, but plug everything. Just let them know.
I make it easy. Sharline FX is everything. All my handles, Instagram, TikTok, what's the other one called? Telegram, all that. All of that is Sharline FX. I make it myself easy to find online.
So I meant to ask you too before we go.
Yeah.
So did you try futures?
Yes, I have tried futures.
All right, what do you think
I
about
like it? I like it, but I don't know if, do you trade futures?
I do.
Okay.
No, but I'm not like abandoning Forex because there is.
Oh,
like,
yeah, nah.
There are going to be times where it's like I don't want to scalp.
Yeah.
And maybe I want to hold a position. You know what I mean?
Because you can't do that on futures.
You can, but you need significantly more capital in your account to do it. So from that perspective, I'm still going to leave.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like still have my accounts and stuff on the Forex side. But I love it.
Because what attracted me to futures was the no spreads. But it seems like they have spreads now.
No, they don't have spreads. But
do you use TraderBait?
No. See, I wouldn't use TraderBait. So I would use...
I use TraderBait.
Yeah, so I use AMP Futures.
AMP Futures.
AMP Futures is really good.
Okay. And no spreads.
No data. Yeah, like you ain't messing with no data fees. The commissions are like $2-3.
Really?
Very, very low.
Oh, wow.
I have been loving it.
Okay.
Now, they're a little old school as far as the application process. It's a lot of papers. You know, it's a long process.
Yeah.
You know, when you deposit your money, it's gonna take like 3-4 days for it to settle in your account. So it's not like that instant. But the withdrawal process has been good. I tested out a withdrawal like 2 days. You know, it hit the account. But I love futures.
Yeah.
I love it so far.
I like it too. I think it's going to be a good competition to Forex because when the whole broker thing went down, everybody was gravitating over to that because we needed a platform. So I think it's going to be a nice little balance. But I love the fact that we have so many more avenues now to turn to. It's not just one like head honcho controlling everything. Now it's like divided and it's like, oh, this is pretty cool. This is diversification. I love it.
And I think if you trade in like gold, like, cause I only like now I don't trade no currency pairs.
Okay,
so
only indices?
Yeah, it's just gold,
Exotics.
NAS, and Dow Jones. Like that's
I love
it. And it's like, I don't want to make money no other way no more.
That's where the money's at.
You started with just gold, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, just gold. Well, I didn't start with gold. I started with AU, GJ, currency pairs. And then I elevated to gold eventually, and now I'm on US 30. But that's where all the big money is made with the exotics and the indices. Currency is cool. You'll make money with that too. But when you want that bag, you got to go to those pairs. So welcome to the gold family.
Come on, man. Yeah, I can't wait to see Q tomorrow. He'll be so proud of me.
Yeah. It's going to be epic. It's going to be a nice event.
He was telling me them Forex pairs. He's like, you got to get away from that. That's what he was telling me.
Nah.
But yeah, so Sharline FX, all social media platforms. Is there anything new you're doing? Like, do you have any in-persons coming up? You have anything? Like, have you ever thought about doing like a retreat or like a meetup or something like that? Like, have you ever thought about anything like that?
Have I thought about it? Yes. Do I think I'm going to do it? Probably not. Probably not. It's just not high on my priority list right now, just to be honest, because I have a lot of personal things I'm planning on doing in the next few months that are going to take a little bit more importance in my life now. But an in-person class is coming up. I don't know if it's either going to be this November or December, right before the end of the year. Okay. I'll probably do another in-person class because I don't think I did one at all this year. Did I do one this year? I can't remember. But other than that, I am bringing back the live streams.
Okay, hey.
I am bringing back the live streams, but it's not going to be the same way it was before. It's going to be very limited, and it's only going to be 3 days a week. It's only going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So no Monday, no Friday. So I got to have a life too.
Facts. And you're dating again. Last time we were on the podcast.
Yes, I was single last time.
You were single. Yeah. So you're dating now.
Yes.
How does that improve your happiness?
Tremendously, because you have that void in your life where everything else is going good, but then it's like you go to bed every night by yourself, and it's like But now it's getting there, and we're talking marriage. We're talking marriage.
So, we got an exclusive. Come on.
So this time next year, I'm gonna be missing something else.
So you remember on the last podcast, like I was giving you you know what I mean, baby fever. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was telling you, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I was messing around with you.
He tried it. I was like, nah, I need a ring first.
Now look at where we at now. Serious relationship.
Yes.
Really talking marriage.
Yes.
And that's
I don't want to
awesome.
jinx it. That's why I don't talk about it too.
Nah, but that's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's time. It's time.
How does he fit into your stardom? You know, because you're a superstar in your own world and in your own right. How does he complement that?
What I love is he had no idea who I was.
Oh, wow.
When he met me. We met completely by chance, walking down in the mall. And I'm like, looking over and I see this really handsome guy. I'm like, who is that? You know, he's like,
come on.
So it's so funny because I'm at the mall and I had ordered something from Louis Vuitton. So I went to go pick it up. Louis Vuitton called me, hey, your package is here. Come pick it up. So I went to go pick it up. And that day I was looking basic. I wasn't too dressed up. I wasn't too dressed down. I was kind of in the middle. But I walk in the mall, and I'm in that mall all the time. So I don't know how I never noticed him before, because he works there. He's like, I won't say what his job is, but he works for the Bloomingdale's inside there. Not for them directly, but contracted company. And I walk in and I see him, and I'm like, oh my God, that's the most gorgeous man I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
I said, I don't know who that is, but I got to get his attention somehow.
Wow.
So when I walk into the Bloomingdale's, I'm automatically inside the men's section. So I walk over to the colognes that were right next to where he was to act like I was looking for a cologne for my dad. So I'm standing there and I see him looking at me from the corner of his eye. Because I don't know if he was able to, you know, he's probably feeling me out. So one of the employees come over and they're like, hey man, what can I do for you today? And I'm talking, so make small talk. And the whole time I'm talking to this guy, I'm just hoping he walks over because I see him noticing me. So I'm like, okay, I know I got his attention. I just got to hang out long enough for him to walk over. So sure enough, he walks over to the colognes and he starts spraying himself with like 3 different colognes. And I look over at him. I was like, what are you doing? He goes, I like wearing different colognes because when someone say you smell good, I don't like them to know exactly what I have. I like to mix it up. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. So then he says to me, do you want to play a game? And I said, a game? What do you mean? He goes, yeah, if you can guess my age, I'll cash app you $25 right now. And I was like, okay, that's weird, but all right, cool. So I said, how many chances do I get? He said 2. So the guy the employee that was helping me, there was like an advertising thing that was next to the cologne. So he was kind of standing on the other side of it. So he puts his arms up and he tells me the guy's age because he knew what the guy's age was. But the number he told me, I had already guessed it. So I'm thinking, well, that's the number I was going to pick anyway. So I said it to him. And I won't say what his age is. But I said it to him and I said, so am I right? He goes, is that your final answer? And I said, because, you know, they try to trick you into switching it up. So I said, yeah, that's my final answer. So he looks at me and he goes, what's your cash app? And he pulls out his phone, right? So he pulled out his phone and I'm looking at him. And I look at him and I said, instead of cash apping me $25, why don't you just use that money and buy me a drink?
God, come on.
And he looks at me and he goes, oh, that's what we on? I said, yeah, that's what we on. He's like, all right, let me get your number.
Boom.
So yeah, he got my number right there. He called me. We went out that night.
Wow.
We went out that night and the rest is history.
You know, before I got married, like I didn't know women play the same games we play.
Oh my God.
Like they try to get attention, they try to get noticed.
Yeah.
Now that I'm married and I hear my wife talking to other women, I see like, man, this whole time they was playing the game how we play it too. It's crazy.
Yes, we want it as much as y'all do.
That's crazy. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Happy for you.
Thank you,
and,
thank you.
Man.
Yeah, he's great. When he found out what I did, though, he was very surprised. He was very surprised. But he did tell me that he had tried trading, but he lost money, so he just gave up. He's like, nah, that's not for me, so he gave up. But the more he watches me do it now he's like, okay, so now he wants to learn. He really wants to get into it, and he wants to do it too. So I inspired him as well. And he's his own business owner also. So it's like, oh, 2 entrepreneurs come together, perfect duo.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, if you want love, go hang out at the mall. You know what I mean? You never know what can happen.
And that's what I like the most. I met him organically. I ain't want no dating app or Instagram where he's sliding in my DMs. None of that.
Wow.
And he used to be a celebrity too. I won't say.
Wow.
You'll see when I post him, people will be like, "That's that. I know that guy." They're gonna know. He used to be on TV. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
One star to another star,
Yeah.
I guess. Come on,
Yes.
man. Ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
this has been a conversation. I can't even say podcast episode. We just chatting, you know, like we just, man, like, hey.
Good talk.
Yeah, it was a good talk. And this conversation happened organically.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I just shot you a text, sparing motives.
Yeah.
Sparing a moment, and you were able to, make it happen. And
Yeah, it's always love. It's
here
always
we
love.
are, man. Hey, here at the Forex Broker podcast, we appreciate you. And
Always.
ladies and gentlemen, this has been another one. Listen, you already know what I like to say. If you haven't already, hit the red subscribe button. Go ahead and turn on bell notifications. But more importantly, what I always say is I look forward to running into you at the bank one day. But you cannot meet me there. You got to beat me there. When I pull up, Sharline pull up, you should already be walking out, duffel bag on your shoulder, big smile on your face. That's our way of saying we believe that each and every one of us are going to be successful. Till next time, God bless you. Tell somebody you love them today. Life is too short, and we will holler at you next time. Peace.